am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Bang 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 bang. And then the ranks become repetitive again. And this time it's all about Ali Cup. It's up. You know it go. August 12 and 13 on the school grounds of Aggie Animal. If you don't know what that is, it's Excelsior High School, 137 Mountain View Avenue. Make sure you're there. It's a big day. Because guess what? The organizers, the man called Chris Daly and the man called Sambo. Big up Zengabat, big up Fuba, big up all Excelsior people. Because you know, from your Excelsior person, you're Excelsior person. You know. Everybody big up. Make sure you're there. It's a big day, August 12 and 13. Ali Cup, because Ali life have to live on. And from we say it have to go, so and so it have to go. So all Excelsior people, big up. And remember, we start out with 8 teams, but remember, 4 forward, so 12 this year. So you know, next year it can be 24. So make sure you score. Daily Rank say, big up, Ali Cup, August 12 and 13, 2022. Mad.
All right, greetings, and welcome. Good afternoon to you, and welcome back to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host. My name is a man, and today we're doing things a little differently, and I know you're going to enjoy this one. It's going to be a very, very good one. We want to do and get some of the early things out of the way so we can get into what we call the meat of the matter. But first and foremost, we give thanks to the Most High God, creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who is maker of all things. Yeah, it is in him, through him, and by him that we have our beings. Man does not exist on his own, but the breath of life comes from the Most High. To share with you a thought as we begin our program this morning. And this thought is from the psalmist David. It is in the Psalm, it is the 25th one. It says, "O Lord, I give my life to you. I trust in you, my God. Do not let me be disgraced, or let my enemies rejoice in my defeat. No one who trusts in you will ever be disgraced, but disgrace comes to those who try to deceive others. Show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. Lead me by your truth and teach me, for you are the God who saves me. All day long I put my hope in you. Remember, O Lord, your compassion and unfailing love, which you have shown from long ages past. Yeah. Do not remember the rebellious sins of my youth. Remember me in the light of your unfailing love. For you are merciful, O Lord. The Lord is good and does what is right. He shows the proper path to those who go astray. He leads the humble in doing right, teaching them his way. The Lord leads with unfailing love and faithfulness all who keep his covenant and obey his demands. For the honor of your name, O Lord, forgive my many, many sins. Who are those who fear the Lord? He will show them the path they should choose. They will live in prosperity, and their children will inherit the land. The Lord is a friend to those who fear him. He teaches them his covenant. My eyes are always on the Lord, for he rescues me from the traps of my enemies. Turn to me and have mercy, for I am alone and in deep distress. My problems go from bad to worse. Oh, save me from them all. Feel my pain and see my trouble. Forgive all my sins. See how many enemies I have and how viciously they hate me. Protect me. Rescue my life from them. Do not let me be disgraced, for in you I take refuge. May integrity and honesty protect me, for I put my hope in you. O God, ransom Israel from all its trouble. Yes, so we give thanks to the Most High, you understand, because we know he's a giver and he's also the keeper of life and mankind. We always have to reflect on his goodness. We always say, listen, you see if you have life, stop for a little and take a look around you. That's a song by one of our secular artists. And see the greatness what the Almighty do. He put the breath in me. He put the breath in you. You understand me? That is the goodness of the Most High God. I want to say condolences as well. You understand me? To the family of Jermaine Gonzalez. He's not on the island. I don't know if he's back yet, but his father passed away recently. And so condolences to Jermaine Gonzalez and his entire family and household. We continue to pray for that family from Clarendon, who they had to lay to rest 5 loved ones, all females, you understand me? Gruesome murder. We also pray for all the people all across Jamaica who have lost a loved one, some in accidents and some by murder and all the acts of criminality. And so we who are alive, pause and reflect and look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord. We focus, we keep our eyes above. We look up, we look out, but we also take time to look in and measure the state of our heart. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are your heart. For only good can come out of a good heart, and only evil can come out of an evil heart. Those are my words of encouragement to you. Again, big thank you to the sponsors of this video. We always give thanks for the persons who take time out and take out of their resources to be help to I Am Sure Sports. We're not a money-making platform, but we get help to keep the platform running, to pay the bills, and to get the equipment. And so we thank the persons who donate, for those who hit the like button when they come on, for those who subscribe. We thank the persons who give super stickers and super chats, sometimes $2, sometimes $3, $4, $5. It all makes a difference. But we also thank the sponsors who, monthly they make a contribution to the channel and say, listen, ensure that the bills are paid, the internet stays connected, the electricity bill is paid, the equipment are upgraded so you can produce better quality. And the persons who do the source work for you, you can give them a little thing as they travel here and there and everywhere, that you can feed the eagles as they continue to get you immaculate and top class information. So to Prestige Finance, where they lend a helping hand when you need it the most, you can call them at 876-884-7390. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars, especially in this back-to-school time. There is no processing fee, same-day processing, and only 0 to 4% interest rate. Big up to Launch Legacy and Patrick Reed, you understand me, over there in Canada, where they handle risk and seek legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. We are on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We think we need around 2. And so please, if you can, get 2 persons to subscribe today. In fact, get 3 persons to subscribe, so we can go over the 4,000. Because you know, subscriptions are sometimes a person will drop out. So we always want to be over the number. You understand me? King Jav, hey, big up on yourself, you know, people. You know, so me, King Jav. Hey, King Jav, me have to go. Hey, King Jav, me have to make you get a I Am Sure stuff, something from I Am Sure Sports, you know. Big up yourself. So yeah, the game. King Jav, more you tell the people them say me bang home my penalty, you know. No joke, you know, keeper can't even move, you know. When you're there in the back of the net and everything, you know. Tell the people them about the brilliant assist I me give the man in the 6-yard box. And hey, King Jav, you tell the man them how me drop the leather, you know. Me no make one bad pass, me no lose no ball in a King Jav. You tell the people them how the thing going on King Jav. Me them know say man is man and no they never ball and I'm all age, you know. The man them bust two, me know the man them play over 40 King Jav and there. Man them a bust slide tackle. Hey yo, the West man them. They ease on themselves, man. Over 40, you know, for slide tackle. Not. After we not play for nothing. Damian Hilton, the preacher, says, stop for a while and take a look around you and see the greatness of what the Almighty do. Him blow the breath in me, him blow the breath in you. The animal and birds and the fishes them too. He make the bird, the bees. Yo, ease, cause we don't eat cheese. Big up Bala car, chill on in the house. You don't know. Bless up yourself. Yeah, man, yeah. Now, like, man is man full of first touch. Class, never leave you. Yeah, man, yeah, man. But the man don't want to run. Brother, the man don't tell me if he sprint and run, go this and go down flank. Brother, he's over 40, you pass the ball, brother. You stay. We attack as a team, we defend as a team. You understand? Yeah, man, man bust a 2-foot tackle. Me I say, brethren, over 40, you feel do that. But it was a good time still, people. I enjoy it, you understand? My team win the game. Don't play with me. The team win the game still. So big up all the man them. We meet Jeffrey and Wolverine and Grandfather. All of the man in player them. You understand me with the daddy as well. You understand me? Jamaica College, big up on yourself. You understand me? West FC, big up on yourself. That female football team. They're trying to get back into the female football league out here. So big up on yourself. You understand me? Big up on yourself, man. Good day down there. And again, I said this recently and I'll say it again, people. Watch this. You see, when it comes on to the youth, them, because you have some youth that they are in the school system. Them go to school and, you know, them get the star treatment and the schools, them right across Jamaica, Manning Cup and the Costa Cup, help them out and all of them thing there, and them start get some girl. I mean, a young people thing, and them, you know, them start enjoy themselves and stuff, and nothing is wrong with that. Them start make a little money, maybe some persons in the school see them talent and give them a 10 grand and a 5 grand or a 15 grand or even more and help them parents with some things. All right, some of them youth, you know, them get so hype and get so big that them forget school is about education. And that football is not a guaranteed, especially when you're in a place like Jamaica. And so them get a chance to educate themselves and them blow it. And someone take this opportunity to talk to some of the elders them in the community, some of the big man them, some of the man them who made some errors and made some mistakes in their life and they never made it through. I want to speak to some of you. It's some of them youth here want to see in the community who now go school, who stop go school. You know, if you talk to them, you know, if you sit down and talk to them. I remember where I come from, you know, and it's elders, they would not allow me to not play football. They would not allow me to not be in school. You understand me? Whether it was when I was in Westmoreland or when I was in Kingston, they would not allow that because they saw something in me. And many of you, you're facilitating the youth them. You know, agree with them not going to school and you say, who me not talk to them. Listen, if a group of you, 6, 7, 8 of you, 9 of you, 10 of you from the community, you understand me, go and talk to the youth them and say, no man, go to school youth. You need to take up your book and go to school. Football has more opportunity now than it had in my time. In my time, you understand me, when I hear about, you have them call them scholarship games when the university come out, them already have some people from certain schools who would have made it. Them just invite you to play, and do you have whole heap of subjects and all of that, them invite you in the next set of youth to play. But you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to make it. Someone talk to someone, man. Want talk to someone. Want to talk to the youth them and say, listen, there are many opportunities. You can go play in the USL. You can go to Vietnam like Daniel Greenman and Atatafari Bygrave. Make how much thousands of US on a monthly basis. You understand me? The elders them want to have to do it. And have to talk to the youth them. And you can't have a youth in the school and him have a good season and then him start smoke weed. Them start plait up them hair and them start bleach out them face. You have to look upon the youth them and say, listen, you can make it. You may not make it to the English Premier League. I know some talent that people spotted last year in the Premier League, in the schoolboy football season. And them youth look like them are going to dash with them career. I'm wanting to talk to them. Wanting to talk to them and talk to the principal them to give them an opportunity. They look like they want done them career at 17 and 18 and 19. It's something close to my heart, you know. Because it look like you, them now see the news, them now read, them now realize that there are so many young youths who have lost their lives. It's like we're going to have a missing generation in Jamaica, where we are going through a phase where we don't have nobody in a particular age group. The amount of young youth them will die. Are there benefits to scamming? Temporary. Is there benefits to badness? Temporary. It's a football. If you can play 10 years of football, brethren, in one of them Asian places, you can come back to Jamaica, build a house, buy a vehicle, and set up a business and help your family. Talk to the youth them, because if you can get two of them youth out of your community to go overseas, two out of a community of 100,000, if you bring and teach them youth the right thing, these same youths can come back and reinvest in, say, suppose each of them take up an next 2 youth. So the next time of 4, when them 4 they go back and make some more money, them come back, them help an next 4. That is what we want to see. Some want to talk to them, call them, go over them yard, go visit them, talk to them mother and them father and tell the youth them to go school. So me I call upon the man them down west, in particular, the whole of the ball of them, Mr. Donald Hewitt, Jeffrey, me I talk to Jim Dandy, yo, long life, me I talk to all on one, Tom, me I talk to all on down there, talk to the youth them. Western Jamaica, Westmoreland in particular, come on man, on a way better than this, Wolverine, all on man, Hog Bump and Lexus and the whole of the ball of them man, from Grangeville to Russia. You understand me? From Negril to Upper Petersfield. The whole of the place, them talk to the youth them. I may talk right across Jamaica, brother. You cannot have big old Westmoreland and you can't put together 18 footballers. 18. All you need is 18 throughout the entire parish. From High School, Grangeville, Petersfield, Belmont, Mannings, Little London, Godfrey Stewart. You can stretch it. Go up Green Island if you don't want. Come on, man. Come on. I know we're going to talk about the BPL and the EPL. We're going to talk about the big side, but I had to do that. You understand me? M10 football. Hey, you know me need to shout you, bro. Because... you understand me? We have to talk to you. We need to talk to you. You want to say me have a banger. Boy, me I tell you, say, boy, me I tell you, you know, when you play that certain age group, in the sense to talk about you play forward, you know. Because of the man who are the most unfit person normally play forward in older age football. You know how the thing go. You understand me? Fabian, you know that, Fabian, here I know enough Fabian, there ain't a problem enough Fabian. Because Sambo and Chris Bailey say you are pick the side. Man, them say you are pick the side. See, you know, say Fabulous, if you not call me. Fabian, if you not call me, I'm not make the side there, brother. Yo, it now go pretty. That Chris Bailey say, and Sambo say you are pick the side. Man, them say, Manage, man. Fabian, I pick the side, you know. So, Fabian, no way I do, you know. Yeah, that's that way. No way I do, you know. Yeah, man. Big up Chris Bailey in the house. Yo, Pioneer. You talk about, you know, football. I want you jump on the channel, talk some BPL when we get to meet you. Cause you don't know nothing about the BPL in a Pioneer. But also to the basketball fan, you know, the great Bill Russell. He passed, you understand, the legend, the one of the most winningest athlete in the history of sports. You understand me? Yeah, man. Bill Russell. Yeah, Bill Russell. Excuse me, people. Yeah, man. So big up on yourself. M10. Yo, you need to let me know what go on, you know. Man, is man, the broadcast war go on at Jamaica, you Rasta. Yeah, you have what go on about that, man. Tell me about it, man. You see it, Pioneer, man, I say Pioneer football. Hey, Fabian, listen. First thing, you know, Fabian, here's a serious thing. You have to tell the people them say. You see, over certain age group, no slight tackle in the thing, brother. The money must some slight tackle out of West there, you know. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You see the West team, the Fabian, want them play cards and spring. Because we know the guys always are trader. They will play cards and spring. Some side tackle, the man, them are busting up, man. The man, them not run for bust some tackle. I mean, I want ever over 40, yeah, man. And then there's a, I don't call the club, but there's a player who played in the finals of the Premier League, you know. And the man them put on the side where me a play, you know. Look at young youth, you know. Starter today, the man start every game in the Premier League. After 7 minutes, and the man floor me, you know. Big up baller. The man must say, yo, this a man I can't play, man, when I have older man on the field, man. You see, this a man I just 20 something, man. You understand me? Yeah, you know, this is a big thing, people. What is going on in Jamaica? Highgate, big up yourself. Hey, Highgate, one of them there, you need to come on the show so the people them can see, you know. Pioneer, we have a line up for you on Highgate, come on. Cause Pioneer, watch this. You know, that Rajay and you need to link up, you know. So I don't know if you're gonna deal with it tomorrow, but Pioneer, we're gonna talk because Rajay really want to do something with it, you see me? But I get we need to see up on the show one of the day them, you understand me? So we'll make Pioneer line up that. But Fabian, now people, let's talk about this a little bit. The broadcasting of the Premier League, right? Now should people unsubscribe from the platform out here, the TV platform, so that they can force people? And I think, you know, because a lot of us talk, if all of us who have the package cut it off completely, the amount of losses that they would, if every Jamaican football fan who have this particular package that provided the EPL contract last season, call in today and say we don't want it anymore because the EPL is not on it, it would force people hand. But you see, because everybody's still depending on it, a hope, not now go on. It cannot be that man of you are going up after me done pay for your package, me have going up. If you go watch the football, a good thing to me is a man of whole heap of thing where me can watch the football pan. Because me have everything, you know. me have everything. Because I don't want to miss no match. As one thing now, as it depends one thing, we got past something else. Sometimes me have a computer, me have the television, me have all kind of gadgets and stuff for me and watch the game and so what I can do is when the games are going on, I can basically share that with people so that they can do it. But we have to put pressure on the people who we pay for the package from so that they can negotiate on our behalf. Because we just have these channels, and really for most of the male persons watching the game, the truth is that what we are doing, we paid because we wanted to see, not championship, not some CONCACAF league, but because we want to see the EPL. And so if the EPL is not on it, all of us collectively need to do something like that and come off it. I think so. What do you think about that, Fabian? Be a problem. You understand me? You can be big EPL and nothing at all. No, man, something must be done. Something must be done. Something must be done. You understand me? There you go. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. We We have to, if them don't have the thing, you understand me? You have to unsubscribe from the stuff because what is the sense? If you're paying for the package to get a particular thing and they don't have it, maybe as a group, because I tell you, if one of us do it, it don't make a difference. But if 100,000 people pull the plug, they will find a way. And that is what they need to know. I don't busy what else going on. It's EPL people want to watch. People want to watch the EPL. It is the one that is closest to us. It is the one that is most followed by Jamaican. Yeah, we watch La Liga and the Bundesliga, but it is the EPL that is close to the hearts and the minds of most Jamaican fans. That is the one that they want to watch. All right, so yeah, man. So yeah, so let's get into the season right now. Now, a lot has been happening, a lot has been said, a lot has been going on. Big up Eagle Republic for jumping into the stream. Today, what we're going to do, because this won't be a very long show because we have a show later this evening, and then tomorrow we are going to start with the track and field coverage of the Commonwealth game. Big up to our swimmers, the netballers, the cyclists. They have been performing or participating so far in the Commonwealth games. Haven't gotten any medals yet, but the netballers, I think, stand a good chance of getting something, getting a medal, I believe, higher than bronze for these Commonwealth games. All right, so what we are going to do today, we are going to pin the link to the show. All right, we're pinning the link. So if you want to come on and talk about your team, you can do that. You can come on and talk about your team this season. So the link is pinned if you click on that link. But here is what you have to do. You have to have your camera on, turn the phone landscape or this way. For those who don't understand, turn it that way. And you turn off all the background noise. All right? Make sure that you're properly attired. You understand me? You have to have on clothes. And then you're good to go. All right? So, bless up. Bless up, bless up, bless up. All right, start. This one says start, listen late. So what is there a disagreement between Verticast, who have the rights, and the cable station? Exactly, my friend. That is it. All right. Yeah, but all right, kick job. Fabian. All right, so let's get this now. So people, now if based on the preseason, which includes outgoing transfers, incoming transfers, play of the team, who are your top picks? In terms of top four. Before we get to any game, based on everything that you have seen this season, who is your top pick? In terms of number one, number two, number three, number four. Who is your top pick when it comes down to where they're going to finish? Talk to me. All right. I think I can tell you first, I can give you who I think my top four is going to be. Then I'll tell you the order that I think the top four will finish in. I think the top four will be between Liverpool, City, Tottenham, and Arsenal. As it stands right now, if there were no more additions or no more, in terms of players, or no player leaving, that's how I see the top four. All right? Tottenham, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool in no particular order. All right, we're gonna get to the order because, of course, you know that teams are planning on making moves in this season. But given how I've seen Liverpool played in preseason, how I've seen a couple of City games in preseason, Arsenal. I haven't seen a lot of Tottenham games, but based on what I've seen, I think Liverpool to me seem to be ahead of City. I think some of City's depth have been affected by their transfers. I don't think they have replaced adequately to contend. And they were just 1 point ahead. I did a show recently and I said that City were ahead, but when I watched that game, I know that Pep was coaching to win. I feel like Liverpool is ahead, and I think how you start this season will determine what happens at the end of the season. So today, I will say I would put Liverpool, and it's going to be very close. I could see even this being a 1 point difference at the end of the season. So just today, it may change next week and next month, but today I would say Liverpool by a point, City, and I think I'm going to squeeze Arsenal ahead of Tottenham, and for one reason only. I think Tottenham is building a team to win the Champions League. And I think that is going to affect their league play. So I'd go Arsenal third, Tottenham fourth. All right, so let me see. All right, Eagle Republic, you see this Reggae Boys discussion. We're going to deal with it on the evening show at 8:30 this evening. All right, Damian Hilton says, Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, that's his top four. Okay. Igate says, this is the toughest top four prediction I've ever seen. Big up DS Electronics Unlimited saying that Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspurs. Okay, we can have the same order. Brian, big up yourself. I did promote and push your thing about Mullines having their preseason camp where if you want to try out for them, you can go to Mullines the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, right across from Tarrant High School. Yeah, man is man. Remember, it's a long season. Liverpool won a one-off game. All right, 38. That is true, and that is why I'm saying that based on what I've seen from the preseason, I think right now, if you ask me, Liverpool is ahead of City. I did say things can change. All right, so that is what I think. Things can change. I have to see where Chelsea in the English league again, asking for a friend. You're asking for Dre anyway. Listen, I don't think Chelsea's in a good place. I kind of find this coach to be a coach that generally he has problems with his players. Like I feel like he normally gets into some situation with some of his key players and he normally loses the dressing room. And I think that is what is happening to Chelsea more than anything else. His player management is affecting things in the changing room. I still don't think they have enough quality up front. I mean, Sterling, yeah, but I just don't know. I think they're missing something. I don't trust their defense enough either. So I don't know. And Manchester United seem to be in a little, where are we going? What are we going to do? What are we going to do with Ronaldo? So those are the reasons why I have those teams out. Now, when September the 1st come, when the window close, these teams could bring in a lot of players and it may change the dynamics of how the picks goes. But I think based on how things are presently, I see Liverpool by 1, City I'm going to squeeze Arsenal by 2 points ahead of Tottenham because I think Tottenham is building a team with the primary focus of winning Champions League. And I think that is what Conte is pushing for. All right, Pioneer. May I tell you, say Pioneer, carefully you talk about football, you'll get beaten in a Pioneer. You don't know what go on the football thing, you know. People, the link is pinned, you know, so you can come on and share the thoughts on your team. You understand me? Because generally, Pioneer don't get beaten in any debate, you know, but this one, him going to lose. India are 68-4 against the West Indies in the second T20 that started late because, you know what happened again? I tell you, say, this play and luggage business is universal because the game started late because the players had problems with their luggage at the airport. Come on now. Do you know where that is from? Yeah. All right, my boss. Yo, Jamie, I wonder if EPL Championship our team a play EFL Championship or team a play, my boss. Oh, yeah, man, Ravel got his visa. Yeah, man, and he made a good debut for DC. Lanessa said Chelsea coach stress every player. Chelsea want Barcelona hijack. Yeah, but I see they're eyeing Cucurella. I think they're trying to hijack City because City put in an offer for the player who wants to go to City, and then Brighton did not take it up. So because he did not take it up, that Chelsea put in 20 million more, 50 million offer. See what I mean? Chelsea invested in Lukaku for the long term, and you know what happened when Werner and Havertz and Sterling. Oh, Spurs window. I would say Spurs window. I would give them a 7 because you're talking about the summer window. If you look at Spurs window, you know, Spurs had some players who come in January, right? So they have Ivan Perisic, Fraser Foster, Bissouma, Richarlison, Ashcroft, Keeley, Lingley, and Spence. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players they have added that can start. So that is why I think that they are going to be in the top 4. But I think because of the way they are built to go for the Champions League, they are probably going to be affected in the Premier League. So I am going to, I would say that their window, unless they make some additions, their window is, I would give them a 8.5. If I add the January additions to their roster as transfer as well. And they haven't really lost any of their big baller. Yeah, they haven't. Bergwijn, I think, has left. That's the biggest name that has really left Spurs. Brian, them are going underestimate his side. We actually improve offensively and them no improve. Yo, Ryan LSC with the super sticker. What you mean, bro? Respect, thanks for that. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, man. Appreciate the love and the support, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for the super sticker. There you go, bro. Appreciate that. That's Ryan LFC, the Liverpool man. Me know why I'm doing it, you know, people. Just because I say Liverpool are going to finish at the top of the league, you know. Him send a super sticker for that. Yeah. Mannings, man, wondering if the president of Cricket West Indies name. Yeah. What the general secretary for West Indies cricket. Yeah, man. Richarlison, yeah, was a good addition. I think that the 3 up front, Kuleski, I think his name is Hurricane Song, and Richarlison. You understand? They still have the Brazilian there. So I think Højbjerg and Bissouma in the middle of the park, Lingley, very good. So I think, and they have added a right back, Jed Spence. I like what he did in the championship. He played some good one-off cup games, but I will tell you this: week in, week out in the Premier League, going up against top quality players, I want to see him do that. Still think he's a good player, but sometimes with the championship level, you know how it is. To play a one-off games, one-off game, you're all hyped up for it, but to do it week in, week out. 1 week is you're going up against Martinelli, Saka. Next week, you're going up against Zaha. Next week, you're going up against Jack Grealish and Phil Foden. I mean, it's a different thing when week out, you're going up against Salah and Jota. You understand me? It's a different, you're going up against Raheem Sterling. So you don't get a break. You know, in the championship, you have good wingers and bad wingers. In the Premier League, every week, you're going up against quality. Which competition is harder to win? Europa League or Champions League? Let me tell you what. Champions League must be harder, man. Because normally in the Champions League, you have to beat, because it's home and away, you have to beat a good team in your zone to get to the top of your zone, to get a good draw. In the Europa League, you can have one good team and 3 bad teams, go through, draw a next weak team because you so I think Champions League is harder. Yeah. Gabriel Jesus is better than Richarlison. You know that Richarlison starts more for Brazil than Gabriel Jesus though, when they are both in the team. So at least at the international level, we see that. All right. Highgate says, Spurs are title contenders. I envy them for Besuma. But you know that I think City got a better midfielder though in Calvin Phillips if he can stay healthy. I like Besuma. Always wanted him at Arsenal. But I think he and Højbjerg are too similar. I think both of them, I don't think they fit together, in my opinion. And that is why I'm saying I figure that they're going to just use one in the Premier League and one in the Champions League. Because I can't see Spurs using both of them unless Conte is going to be using a back 3. You'd have to be using a back 3. To use both of them together. Yeah, come on, people, hit the like button. You understand me? Maybe remember as well, you can contribute to the channel with a super sticker and a super chat. All right. Champions League, no most harder. Yeah. Yeah, man. Champions League is harder, man. It's harder. Coach Karum Yui says, Manchester City know how to win this league. That's an issue I have with Liverpool consistency. No, but you can't say City know how to win the league. Liverpool knows how to win the league as well, man. Yeah. Liverpool knows how to win the league. People, we must not forget, that it was a very close call, in the last, we must not forget, generally when teams have the amount of points that Liverpool had over last season, they win the league. You understand me? But I think it is going to be that competitive. The one thing I'll say is that the points this season will be lower. I don't think either of those teams will be as dominant, especially against the big teams. So I think the amount of points that wins the league, it will be less. Like you won't get the 90 odd. I think we're going to be 87 downward in terms of points accumulation. Because I think Spurs going to be up there. Arsenal I think as much as I may not think Chelsea will be in the top 4, I think they are going to be competitive. I think Aston Villa, the West Hams, these teams have a lot to offer. So there are like 9, 10 teams that I think they're not all of them are title contending, but they are going to make the battle for the championship a whole lot more difficult than it was last year. I think also the fact that the window has gone to September is a good move, because what you'd find is that the Premier League window would be closed, but players could still leave to go overseas, and the Premier League clubs could not replace them. I think the fact they have extended the window, you realize that less Premier League players are being bought to go back overseas. So I think that is something to look at as well. I think that is something to look at. This one says Liverpool, City, Spurs, and Arsenal in that order. All right, well, Ralston at Liverpool. Dia says, Mannings, things will change now as Jesus never used to get games. He only come off the bench. True? Think Mane departure will affect Liverpool? Definitely. Listen, all right, Mane will be missed. He will be missed. I think what he offers is different from Nunes. And like our Liverpool fans, my hope is that Nunes can come good. I think how Liverpool plays, he will get chances. Whether he will be as clinical as Mane is a different thing. I think he plays different. So I don't think he was brought in to replace Mane. I think Liverpool, before Mane left, got Jota and Diaz in case Mane or Salah left. So I think that was done. I think Darwin Núñez is replacing Firmino. So Firmino is going to see less time. So I think the comparison is not Mane leaving. The comparison is this. Is Núñez able to offer more than what Firmino was offering in terms of goal scoring? And I think so. I think between Diego Jota and Luis, they are going to make up for the Mane goals. The thing is, they are expecting Darwin Núñez to score more goals than Firmino did last year. I think that is where it is for me. Maybe the Liverpool fans can tell me. Again, the link is pinned. If you want to come on, make sure your camera is on, the phone is set landscape. You come on and you share your views. You can also call in, because the call-in line is also up and running, and share your thoughts concerning the team. Liverpool will win a one-off game, but Manchester City will be more consistent with points. All right, we'll see about that. Who won the league the most the last 5 years? All right, so here's the thing. City, the last 5 years. But a next person going to extend that. Who won the league the most for the last 20 years? We can't use, because you're going to measure consistency. You can't then use 5 years so it can justify your City points. Use the last 20 years. Use the last 20 years. And see if you, and then you're going to say Chelsea is going to win the league. So we must not try to use stats and figures to validate our points. So if you bring it down to 5, then of course City, you're going to have City. But if you extend it to 15, you're not going to have City or Liverpool, you're going to have Chelsea. So it depends on how you want to skew the stats, you know. You can skew it to favor a particular angle. Yeah, but you're talking, what I'm saying to you, you know, what you have done, you have taken the stats for 5 years. Go back to the league over the last 15 years. Who has had the most titles? So isn't it fair to say that team that has won the league the most over the last 15 years is Chelsea? So Chelsea is the most consistent team, so Chelsea should win the league. Why are you using 5 years as the measuring stick? Yeah. All right, sir. So, yeah, Liverpool, Spurs are number 2. Number 2, no. Liverpool, City, Spurs. Hey, I'm not. Are you say Liverpool is number 1, City, Spurs number 3, or number 2, Chelsea number 2? Okay. So you don't have Arsenal in there. All right. All right. I think I get it. Blue Heart. The man don't have the man don't have the man in Blue Heart and it look like him support Liverpool. He will be missed, but I think they have persons there who can cover for him. Like what Lanesra is saying right here. There's a cover for Mane, absolutely. Higgins says, Mannings, honestly, I don't care about EPL. It's a Champions League or bust, but I think Liverpool will win the title. And that's a City, man. Yeah. I almost feel like this year, I would not be surprised if City will finish third and are in the Champions League final. For some reason, I think Pep will be more focused on the Champions League. Yeah. Diaz can cover, man. Liverpool only have 3 irreplaceable ball. Alison Virgil and King Salah. Yeah, man. We know that you're highly. Don't worry yourself, Karumi, man. We know that you're highly educated, man. And yeah, man. Me don't know nothing, man. You know, say that's how me I learn, man. That's how me I learn, you know. Me admit, you know, bro. I willingly admit I know nothing. I'm the least of the multitude. Yeah, so you know it, man. You know it. So your opinion is right. I will admit I am still learning. But even when I'm learning, I don't agree with you that you're going to measure the league in the last 5 years to say that City is more consistent. I am saying to you, extend that to the last 15 years. And who is the most consistent team? What I'm saying to you, you have just used a 5-year window because you're using it to justify the point. You said that City is the most consistent team. Liverpool has done better in the Champions League. Isn't that consistency? Liverpool have also won other cups. Isn't that consistency? They have also won the league. Isn't that consistency? Come on, man. Do better than that. You're going to measure consistency because City, and you're using 5 years. Extend it to 15. If you want to use consistency, I am saying to you, 5 years is not a measure of consistency at the highest level because you only use 5 years because it justified your reasoning and your logic. All I'm saying to you, extend it to 15 and tell me who is the most consistent. Simple. Again, let me ask you. Do not use, by your same logic. I'm going to use your logic. Let's use your logic. We're going to use Premier League. I'm using your logic. City is the most consistent team in the last 5 years. So they are going to win the league. That is your logic. I'm going to extend that to the next 15 years. The last 15 years, Chelsea has been the most consistent team in the Premier League. Chelsea will win the Premier League. Based on your logic, am I wrong to say Chelsea is the most consistent, so they will win the league? I leave you to answer that, and I will stay silent. I'm waiting. It means that Chelsea, listen, Chelsea and City have the same amount of titles from 2000. Same amount. And Chelsea has finished in the top more than City since that time. And other trophies Chelsea have won more than City. So if that is the case, Chelsea is the most consistent team in the last 20 years, so Chelsea should win the Premier League. For a man who says he's learned and educated, that's not sane reasoning. That is reasoning to fit a particular point, brother. Understand that, no, man? Check from 2000. All right? So in the year 2001, Manchester United 2001 to 2002, Arsenal 2002 to 2003. You have, all right, so 2004 Chelsea, 2005 Chelsea, then Man U, then Chelsea, then Manchester United. So that's 3 for Chelsea. City won in 2011. All right, 12. That's 1. 2013 to 14 City. That's 2. Chelsea won in 2014 to 15. That's 4. Chelsea won in 2016 to 17. That's 5. Then City 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So what kind of, you can't reason like that. Can't reason like that. Yeah, I get. Listen, what I'm saying to the man is that you're not supposed to. What I'm saying, I hate when people, it's just like I'm saying that. Listen, in the last year, who is the best NBA player? And oh, he's the greatest of all time. You can't use stats to justify a point like that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't measure consistency that way. Because if you measure it and say the last 5 years, it means that you're using it to measure your own thing. All right. So that is my point. But when people consider themselves to be learned, I feel my reasoning with them kind of slow down, because you see, I'm not learned. I don't know anything. You understand me? And so it's when time bright people come onto the stream, they reserve my comments and leave the bright people them to talk. Let me tell you why. All right. We don't want to have the conversation here because, again, I don't understand our reason. So let me ask you this. Is Asafa Powell one of the most consistent sub-10 runners of all times? People, no, listen. Like, I'm not having... All right, let me help you. People, the purpose of the show is not to have a debate. But this is a side topic. I'm not going to continue with it. Because the person who brought it up, not even in the discussion, he probably gone already, because I saw some person said things and you respond, them gone. So the person who said it, probably gone and not even part of the discussion. So let's move on. Shavan Peart, what's wrong with your brother? Listen, big man, nobody try. Listen, nobody tell me something. You know what people are comment? Why you think me have to put up yours on the screen? You know, me have put up other people. You know, me have respond to it. Why me have put up? Come on, man, don't go down there. Don't go down the road with me, no, man. Don't go down the road with me. The person who brought up discussion probably gone already, because when them talk, I feel them talk that, and you're not supposed to talk back to them because them intelligent. So here my thing, no, man. We come to talk about top 4 and the Arsenal game. We don't need to discuss. We can have a different conversation about that. That is not the purpose of this discussion. I will say to you, the reasoning for us are when we begin to take stats over a particular period to justify our argument, to me makes no sense. I can say to you, there are other factors that I can use to measure consistency. During that 20 years period, I can look and say which teams have been in the top 4 the most. I could use that. I could use, so how were they, when they weren't winning, what were they doing? All of those things must be factors in the whole thing. But to use one set of stats to measure something as this and put it over a certain period, let me say it again. It is a person trying to justify their argument instead of looking at the whole. And Highgate said it very well. Highgate said you can't use 20 years. So one person can use 5, but the next person can't use. So I don't measure consistency. So here it is now, Siobhan period. Let me put up this. I don't measure consistency based on 5-year period. I choose to measure consistency over a 30-year period. So any team that is the most consistent over the past 30 years is a team that I would say the most consistent. So my measuring stick is 30 years. So seeing that you use 5, my measuring stick is 30 years, because I can't tell you, you can't use 5, but I choose to use 30. That's me. That's my point. So fine, you use 5 years. My measuring stick for consistency, when it comes on to the EPL by itself, no FA Cup, no Carabao Cup, no Champions League, I use a measurement of 30 years. And that is which teams have consistently finished in the top 4 and won the title in the past 30 years. Those are the teams that I choose to, those are the parameters I am going to use to measure consistency. You have different ones. And listen, I agree with your parameters. Those are mine. All right. I think that's a good way. Yeah, so most people kind of have the top 4, a few people have Chelsea in there. All right. All right. So that is it where that is concerned. But I also think like I think Chelsea will make moves. I don't see them not bringing in players. I think City is going to add players as well. And I know United will add players. So a lot of things can change leading up to September the 1st, which means a lot of us could come back and say, listen, boy, based on these 4 additions or 3 additions, this and that has changed. All right. And so that's something big to look at and go at. No, Siobhan, lad, all disrespect. Siobhan, man, all disrespect coming at this, man. I know that you will not do that, man. Siobhan, there's no, my brother, there's no man, there's no disrespect. I said, throw me off. All right. All right. So Siobhan, here's the thing. Me and your good brother without a problem. We could just leave the conversation and go to other things, because you understand me. We just agree. We have 2 different parameters, and I'm saying that is okay. One person uses 5 years. But when I'm looking at a league that have the same teams in the top 6 for the last 30 years, I use that period. And over that time, I would say Chelsea, United, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I use a longer period because I know that rebuilding. So for example, I was saying to people that there was a point when Hazard and all of those guys, like sometimes teams like Manchester United, the dominance of City had a couple of factors. it had the rebuilding and the leaving of Alex Ferguson, the ending of Arsene Wenger. So to be fair to some of those teams, you have to look at it and say, you know what? Liverpool were already in their rebuilding, City were in their rebuilding, and the house was just being torn down. And so to dismiss all the accomplishments of Manchester United, to say that it is irrelevant because it's too far back, let's just use 5 years, I think it is unfair to Manchester United. Because to be fair to Manchester United, that's all I'm saying. When City started coming in, teams like Manchester were really, Alex Ferguson was exiting and a lot of changes were taking place. Now they have taken too long to rebuild, just like Arsenal. But you can't dismiss the years of consistency that they have. That is my parameter. All right? So, yeah. All right. So, watch this now. So, Manchester United fan, more you call in or jump on. Liverpool fan, are you satisfied? Here's a big question. Are you satisfied with your squad? Or do you still need an addition or two? And who would be that realistic addition to your team? So that is the question. If you're satisfied, yes. If you're not, no. And if you're not satisfied, who would you add? And if you could get one player out of your club right now who need to leave, and please do not tell me Harry Maguire, he's not going anywhere. Let me just tell you that. Leave Harry Maguire alone. He's going to have a good season. I promise you that. Harry Maguire I'm not a United fan, but Harry Maguire is going to have a new season. Highgate, you know, hey, Highgate, tell you have your hand, because guess what, Highgate? Highgate, guess what? To say that City gave away the Champions League is saying that the team that they played against didn't have to do anything. You understand me? To say a team gave it up, mean that the team that they were playing against never had to do anything. There you go. Hey, yeah, real Liverpool, man. Real Liverpool, man. You understand the reasoning, man. There is it. Ralston, that is the point I'm making. All right? Management, so to have a conversation, can you agree on premise to measure? Exactly. You see, hey, yo, one thing me I tell you, see them chat here? Yo, them chat here. Big up you like Shavard Pearton. You see them chat here have some very intelligent people. You have to have parameters. So if you're going to use consistency, you have to determine a length of time that everybody agrees on. And here is why. Because there are cycles. Who said it? It is cycles. So, for example, if I come in when a cycle for a team is in mid-phase, and you come in when the title of when the cycle for a team is in the rebuilding, then you are going to look way better than me, which is right. Because you got a mid-cycle team where I am just starting out. The bad part now is when you meet a man who pick up a team that is heading down. So if you check Manchester United, since Alex Ferguson, it has been change after change after change after change after change. They haven't really gotten off the ground in terms of their rebuilding. This is where I give Chelsea and Liverpool a lot of credit. Because Liverpool went through their patch and they had a long rebuild and they have been able to ensure that the cycle of change isn't long. That is the kind of football reasoning and logic that we must speak about. I can use my team, for example. Constant Spring is a good example. Constant Spring is a good example. All right? Very good example. Constant Spring. All right? Constant Spring went through a cycle. And out of that, they came out of the Premier League. So hard to get back in because when they were in there, other teams were rebuilding. So when they got out, they got in the competitions where the team that they were up against were already far ahead and advanced in their process than they were. So we have to look at those things as well. All right? And set proper parameters to discuss the conversation. But let's get to this big question. Shaban Peart, I'd love to hear your comments on this. Who are you satisfied with your squad presently? If yes, cool. If no, who would you add and who would you remove? Who needs to leave your team? And who would you love to see come in? I can tell you for Arsenal, I don't think we have a team that can win the title or seriously challenge for it. But I think we can fight hard to get to third with the present squad. I think Arsenal needs to add 3 more quality players who can start. We need a midfielder who can play the CDM or the box-to-box. I think we need a winger. We need a winger that can play on the left side, because I think as good as Martinelli is, I don't know. I don't think he scores enough goals for me. He has not been scoring a lot of goals, so I'd love somebody who is more of a goal-scoring threat, that when Gabriel Jesus comes out there, that person can even play the point man in the central area. All right? And I also think we need a centre-back, a quality centre-back, because if Saliba goes out, then it's Ben White. But if Gabriel Magalhaes goes out, they don't have a left-sided centre-back. So I think if Arsenal can get a left-sided centre-back, a winger, and a CDM who can also play that box-to-box role, like, you know, the Savage guy out by Lazio, I think that would be a good addition. I think they could also look at Bissouma. But those are the 3 areas that I think Arsenal would need to add to. What about your team? Yeah. All right, let me take this one. I am not satisfied. I would have sold. Oh, you would not have sold Sterling or Jesus. Grealish was a bad side. Yeah. Boy, like, I think the player who have a lot to prove this year is Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish needs to I don't know. I think, like, if Jack Grealish doesn't play well this year, he's going to, I don't know. I think he needs to prove himself, and I think Rashford need to prove himself this season as well. But let's stick to this one. I wouldn't have sold Sterling or Jesus. Grealish was a bad signing last year. Also, I would have sold him instead of Sterling. And we need 2 left back. Isn't Cancelo one of the best left back? Isn't Cancelo one of the best left back in the world right now, they say? Why would you need 2 left back? Cancelo, you need 1 left back. I don't know. Cancelo. Whoa. You have Cancelo already. So I think you need 1 left back. But I think Calvin Phillips is a very good buy. And for some reason, I think Phil Foden is going to have a better season than Jack Grealish. Christopher Wright. Oh, I did name who you'd carry in money. You want here who is who I have in mind, right? The Lazio player, Savage, I think his name is. And I would get the guy named Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven. I would get him. Yeah, I would that's the person I would get. Gakpo. Mm-hmm. All right, Blue. King Job says Arsenal need a proper standing striker, someone similar to a Kane. You know what? If Arteta is going to use a Pep system, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because even Haaland, I don't see Haaland being like a point man. I don't know. I just feel like Haaland and Pep. Like I've never seen Pep use a forward like that. He and Zlatan didn't get along so well. He and Eto'o didn't get along so well. I don't think he's that kind of coach. He and Lewandowski didn't get on so well at Bayern. So I don't know. I don't know that he's one of them kind of one of those person who believe in that kind of fault. So that's I'm kind of surprised that they bought. I'm kind of surprised that they bought him though. Kind of surprised that they bought Haaland. Really shows a corporate signing. Oh, but don't he? Oh, right. He's a right back. Yeah, true. But doesn't he play left back sometimes? Because even in the game yesterday, he played left back. Well, if that is the case, you need left back for real. Igate says, big up Shavan Peart. We shouldn't have sold Zivchenko. Cancelo is a right back, sir. I don't believe Diaz is that guy. We should have used Phillips' money to buy a left back. So you would not have bought Calvin Phillips? Is that what they're saying, Highgate? You would not have bought Calvin Phillips from Leeds? Tell me who they're bringing. You still don't tell me who you're bringing at City, though, right now. Can go get Zaha from Crystal Palace. Who do you bring in Highgate and Shavard Beard? Chelsea need a hungry number 9 and one more quick centre back, but we're good all around. Yeah. I see them trying to get Fofana from Leicester. That guy and Saliba came through the same system, you know. But that guy is not even a French international or a France international, and they want almost 85 million for him. But knowing Chelsea, they will go and pay it because they are like that. They are like that. They will go and pay it. They will go and pay that amount of money, you know, because Chelsea is like that. And the number 9. Who would be that hungry number 9? Where is a hungry number 9 out there? Oh, and Blue Art is saying that you need De Jong because you're not it was here or talking about Jorginho. Yeah. What about right back? Chelsea don't need a right back. Or a left back. They don't need a left back. No left back needed. All right. What about Manchester United? I know. Yes, what I noticed with the Manchester, I'm not hearing from the Manchester United fans. I don't know why. What is going on with the Man U fans? I'm not hearing from them, and I'm not hearing I want to know the Liverpool because I don't want when the season starts. Man, tell me that we should have gotten. Who does Liverpool need, or are you satisfied with the Liverpool squad so far? Are you satisfied with your Liverpool squad so far? Lanessa said, man. Lanessa, you're not a Manchester United fan. What the man do that? You're not a United fan, Lanessa. I don't believe so. No Manchester United speaks that way. Yeah. Liverpool fans, are you? Oh, Liverpool. All right. Yeah, see a Liverpool man here. Say Liverpool no need nobody. All right. We got Emerson and we have Kennedy and Alonso left back. Okay, all right. But yes, what Blue Art says Chelsea need one more good midfield and a left back and a striker. Yeah. Oh, Arsenal. Yeah. Yeah. Arsenal for real. We say that Manchester United need a complete side. I don't think Yeah. But yeah, listen, and then what I want to know is that which player need to have the most to prove this season? Which player from the top teams have the most to prove this season? And who is going to be your surprise team? Give me your surprise team. Like, you know what? I think this team going to surprise. If there's one team that, you know what, this team could pop up in the top 6. Which team is your surprise team? Which team will be your surprise team this season? All right, viewers. Yeah. Oh, you mean? There you go. Listen, Arsenal have the best kit. Listen, over the years, brethren, them have a black kit. It good. You see all the pink one? Nice. Forget them two there, you know. I don't know what the red one yet, but you see the black kit? Yeah, the black kit. Nice, may I tell you. But I don't know. I don't like the Liverpool kit them, you know. Liverpool and Chelsea kit them, they just look too ordinary. I don't like the Nike thing them look too ordinary. Christopher Wright says, Man, you need the young. Anthony may not get them, but they would be my ideal signing. Okay. Hated player. You're going to try for Cucurella. Yeah. Manning is not to digress, but the Philippine Football Federation is considering having the Rega girls as well as Uzbekistan in some November friendly game. They have already secured Costa Rica. Nice. I think that will be good. As I keep on saying, Eagle Republic, that we need to. Eagle Republic, listen, it's later. We're going to discuss this on the 8:30 show. We're going to discuss all of this. You understand me? We're going to discuss the coaching situation with Paul Hall, who going over with the players, the Rega girls as well. We're going to discuss. And the under 15 girls that lost their game today, we're going to discuss that. What you think about Newcastle? I think they would try for some top transfer since them big money owners come in. Yeah. But I think that is a team I think is going to surprise. I think if there's any team, I was going to say Aston Villa, I know. But I think Newcastle has the financial power to mash up the top 6. In fact, I could see Newcastle finishing 6th. And one of the regular top 6 teams finish 7th. That's how I see it. I think Newcastle is going to, surprise a lot of people this season. Rodri will play 85% of the game, and we use Zivchenko or Gundogan to rotate in the role. Simple. I get what you're talking Zinchenko? We need to hear from Paul Hall. You don't read it. Go and read the Gleaner, man. Read the Gleaner. Yes, Mr. Speed spoke about Paul Hall, saying that he's at Crystal Palace and they're still in negotiation. I'd love to talk to Paul Hall too. Chelsea home kit look like a PE gears. The fans are very disappointed. Ethan Laird put in a brilliant performance yesterday. Was very impressed with him. Side note, he had indicated that he'd be interested in playing for Jamaica. Yeah, man. I think for a while now we have been hearing that. So I hope. Listen, honestly, sometimes, like later, Christopher Wright, you talk about this Jamaica team, because my time I tell you, I don't. Like, me, if you get up every day and talk negative, you know, but you when you talk about the male side of the football, a lot of times it's so negative. So negative that, but drown yourself in a negative energy. I don't know if, you know. Come on, people, we have been on for a minute now, hit the like button, yeah, man. Yeah, man. And remember what we have been saying, we need like 2 more subscribers. We need 5 subscribers. We need 5 persons who have not subscribed to the platform to subscribe. So listen, there are 38 of you. There are over how much, around 300, close to 400 people watch the stream. So watch this. If each of you can get one person to subscribe, simple. 1, 2, 3. So do that, make we get over 4,000 subscribers. Right now. Right now. Chelsea should keep Chilwell, get a left back, Aspi, for backup to James, and play a back four. Buy a midfield, Frankie, my choice, and a striker. Break the bank, Kane, my choice. Hey, people, you know that? I think Manchester United. What do you think about this? Manchester United release Ronaldo and buy Harry Kane for $100 million. What do you think? I think that's what United, if United want to lift their funds, then buy Harry Kane. But will he go to Manchester, seeing that they're not even in Champions League? Or should Chelsea get rid of Ziyech, same name, get rid of Timo Werner, and make Harry Kane the highest paid player in the Premier League and buy him? Yo, that would be a move. Hey, I wonder if Chelsea can afford that. I agree that Haaland would have a point to prove. Diaz as well. Just about any top new player to the EPL always has a point to prove. Yeah? Yeah. But I think Harry Kane could go to Chelsea, So listen, we are going to double your salary. You're going to be our starter. And I hope they have an obligation to buy for Lukaku. And then they wouldn't need Lukaku. Let Lukaku stay at Inter. Them sell Ziyech. And them sell Timo Werner back to Germany. Them lose some money, but them use some of them funds to buy Harry Kane. And them good. What say you? Kane in that Chelsea with Sterling. What do you think? From one side, Mason Mount up there. Hey, the Chelsea team, they would have bodied up. Jay, anyways, what the Chelsea fans them there? Man, his man just blue heart. Man, his man just giving them the idea of a transform the fortunes of Chelsea, Harry Kane to Chelsea. Let that be the new rumor. Yo, we just put that on blast. We'll put that on blast. Harry Kane to Chelsea. Harry Kane to Chelsea. Whoa. Yeah. Hey, the English league would take off because I think that one move would make Chelsea right now title contenders. With Raheem Sterling already here, this one move would make them title contenders. Kane to Chelsea is not a bad idea. I have a lot of time for Kane. Me not lie. But one big London club to another, not go happen. Yo, money talk. Money talk, brother. Yeah. Jack Grealish must prove himself. Definitely I think Jack Grealish, I think Marcus Rashford need to rebound as well. Yeah. So there you go. Let me take this one. Big up for the super chat, Blue Heart. Chelsea by Kane and Frankie de Jong with title content. I'm telling you, if Harry Kane goes to Chelsea, problem. And I'm saying that the thing with Chelsea is Chelsea have all of these players all over the place that they can sell, and make money, because Ross Barkley, them can release Ross Barkley, sell him and get some money. They can find the money to buy Harry Kane. And I know that they can pay Harry Kane. Because Timo Werner, if they sell Timo Werner, you know how much money? Over 200,000 that, Them a get off of them 250,000. Them a get off of them wage bill. You know. Them can add the next 50,000 to that and pay Hurricane 300,000 because Spurs not paying him that. Will Spurs sell him? Because remember last year, City wanted to buy him. You know, one thing with the Spurs owners, you know, them not sell like that, you know. But they did sell Gareth Bale. So could it be why they buy Richarlison just in case Kane leaves? Can you imagine? Lay it down in the window. Whoa. No, man, I don't think Kane is going to go to Bayern. I think he wants to stay in England. Why nobody want Ronaldo money? Can't pay him or him attitude. Hey, Ronaldo old man. Where is Ronaldo going to go? Talk the truth. Which team? Chelsea? Why would Chelsea pay Ronaldo $500,000 when they can get Harry Kane and pay him 400? Before they go, I would not. Before they buy Ronaldo, I'd say Chelsea should buy Harry Kane and pay him. No, Kane for the Blues, sir. Are you saying we are not tied to contenders? No. Chelsea not tied to contenders right now, man. Not right now. Yeah, that's a next season, man. If Harry Kane don't leave this season, nobody buying him. Listen, if Harry Kane don't go this season, him not going more than 50 because him going to be older. Hey, Highgate, people, me need somebody to take on Highgate on this thing, you know. The man said Sterling is an overrated baller. Anybody don't believe that Sterling is overrated, but that Sterling is actually underrated Highgate. I think Sterling is underrated Highgate. I need somebody to take on Highgate on this, you know. Any one of you want to take on Highgate? 30 minutes, 15 minutes for you to make a point, 15 minutes for Highgate to make him point. Why is Sterling overrated? Is Sterling overrated? I think Sterling is underrated. That's what I think. Sterling is underrated. So, any one of you want to take on Highgate, let me know. Because Highgate has been saying this for a while. There you go. Yep. Richarlison is not as prolific as Kane. True, but they don't have any choice. Nobody can buy Ronaldo. His wages, oh my God. Yeah. So with Ronaldo, they would have to cut his salary would have to go down way down. Like 50%. 50% for any team to get him. You understand me? Yeah. This Kane talk is wishful thinking. What? With Conte as manager, he ain't leaving. Plus, he's relishing with this window that the club is willing to invest. When it come on to money, bro, don't tell me that. You think Harry Kane would not move to go to a Chelsea in Champions League as well? No? Chelsea in Champions League. And I think Chelsea with Kane is a greater threat to winning the Champions League than Chelsea with Spurs. That's my thought. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think Everton will be relegated. I think so too. I think. Hey, listen, which one are you would buy Calvert-Lewin? Maybe Arsenal could get him in January if they want a stand-up striker. Yeah. Sterling is underrated, man. Sterling is there you go. Sterling is a world-class player. Sterling world class. End of discussion. I get. So are you willing to take on Blue Heart before the game are DS Electronics Unlimited? Because you said, okay, he was okay. I agree. Sterling is world class. So that means Rashford, Zaha, and Martial are world class players. we have here the man out of England, man called Rich Pooh. The reason
Get it
why
right. Get it right. Rich Poe. Rich Poe.
Rich Pooh Sports, the reason boss.
You got it. You got it there, man. You got it there. You got it there.
So let me ask you a big question.
Go ahead.
Is Sterling overrated or underrated, and why?
I've just joined at the right time. I heard
Highgate is his name.
birds.
His name is Highgate.
Rich Poe Sports speaking. Frankly, Sterling is not that guy. Sterling is not that man. Sterling is a very good player. London, England calling here. A fine player. Pep Guardiola made him an even better player than he was before when he was at Liverpool. Is he world class? In my opinion, he's striving, but he is not, in my opinion, world class. Overrated in some circles, yes. If you talk to real hardcore football fans, they will acknowledge that the definition of world class, which is always contentious, would find Sterling does not quite cut it. I don't believe that Sterling is going to be that guy, that man to make the definitive difference for Chelsea. They need a goal scorer. They need someone who's got the cutting edge and can make it count. Nunes may do that. Harvey may do that. Sterling, not that man in my view. Watch the ride.
No, I'm not talking about what he will do at Chelsea. I am asking you, is he a world-class player? Is he overrated or is he underrated? So he's not world-class.
In my opinion, he is not world-class. Read my lips.
Is he
Raheem
overrated?
Sterling. In some circles, those who call him world-class, I say he is overrated. By common consent, the common opinion is he's a very good player. His plus points, which is his speed, is very good. Sharp.
Let me ask
he's
you a
sharp player.
question.
You can't play for Man City without being a quality player. Go ahead.
All right. So, who are the top? If you're on to name right now, just give me six of the top teams in the world. 6 right now, top of your head. Like you'd say, top teams across any league
in the world.
Yeah, any league. Are you want? Yeah. All right.
Bayern
Let's
Munich?
use the Premier League. All right. Bayern Munich.
Hold on. Do you want the world or do you want Europe or you want Premier League?
Europe, man. Just give me Europe.
Bayern
Munich. Yeah.
Real Madrid. Manchester City. Liverpool. Now it begins to get quite interesting because with the money in the Premier League teams are very much to the fore. I should be calling out an Italian team. I should be. But AC Milan and Inter Milan.
What about Juve?
Juve still on
What about PSG?
Flatter to deceive. Flat track bullies.
What about Barcelona?
Barcelona, not at the heights they used to be. On the way back under Xavi.
All right. So the reason I ask you, can Sterling make all of those teams?
No.
Really? Which one he can make?
Real Madrid.
Which one of those teams? How you mean that Sterling can make Real Madrid? Of course.
Real Madrid and Bayern Munich.
In my opinion. What? All right, go ahead.
As a starter or as a starter, I'd say he's struggled. As a squad player, touch and go. In my opinion,
I think Sterling can start on any of those teams you just named. So why I brought up that is because if you can play in 7 of the top 10 teams in the world as a starter, I consider you a part of the discussion as being world class.
What's your definition of world class? Being able to start in 7 of the 10 top teams in Europe?
So let's use in terms of European football. If in the 10 top teams in Europe, you can cement. you can cement, right? You can cement a starting position. So if you can start in the Barcelona team, the Real Madrid team, the Bayern Munich team, the City team, the Liverpool team, and say even the PSG team, just for, name a team. All right. I am saying that you must be world class because those teams can get the best talent in every position. All right. You're also a starter for your national team. Starter, like you're probably one of the first names on the match card. All right. I think that puts you in the argument or in the conversation to be world class. My opinion. Yes, Rich. Go ahead, though. Make a case.
Do you know, by common consent in England, if you ask how many world-class players England have, do you know what the answer would be? How many world-class players do you think England's national team currently has?
2.
Who are?
Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane.
There's the rub. There's the rub. If I told you that Harry Kane, in some people's eyes, in quite a few people's eyes, is on the verge of being world-class, you can consider him in the argument as being world-class. But that's where you start and end. Where Raheem Sterling is concerned, you'll have less supporters for pushing him into the world-class status. His ability. Let me.
You know why? You know why?
Let me point you. Let me point you in the direction as to why certain people speak in this way, including myself. Raheem Sterling oftentimes finds himself in the position of being front and center, left, right, and dead eye in front of goal. That makes him potentially a goal scorer, to be the difference maker. Oftentimes, and I'm sure you must have seen it, Manning's man, the man has been soft shoe shuffling, tame efforts at goal, light efforts at goals. He is not put away chances when you feel, here it is, a world-class striker, a world-class forward, a world-class player will put these chances away and you say, this is the difference maker. In my opinion, this is why Pep Guardiola said, with all due respect, Raheem, you're not going to get regular first team football win Manchester City. You're a fine player and we wish you well. But you don't make the difference when you need to make the difference. His speed.
All right, so let me ask you this, Richard.
His speed is outstanding. His speed is outstanding.
Right.
His crossing is not always world class.
So let me ask
it's
you.
Pretty good. Go ahead.
Let me ask you. All right, so let me ask you this. I hear what you're saying because a lot of this is English press. All right? So watch me. So the persons who have basically replaced or will replace Sterling, Jack Grealish, and the other one is Phil Foden. Are any of those players better than Sterling? Have performed in your eyes better than Sterling in their time in the league? Are produced better than Sterling? Let me put it that way. Jack Grealish or Phil Foden, who
Jack Grealish. No, in my opinion. Phil Foden at his best. Phil Foden at his best has matched Raheem and at times exceeded him simply by his youth and his ability and what he produces, his maturity, his cutting edge ability at his best in his pomp. It has matched Raheem. But I think the key thing with those two players, if I'm being frank and calling a spade, Rich Post Sports calls a spade. Those two have potential. Frankly, they've got a lot of potential. They're English.
What you can say to me?
Yes.
Rich, what I can say to me is this.
Yes.
That you see more as a younger player, Foden has greater potential where you could excel what Raheem Sterling is doing at his age. But in the City side, Raheem Sterling has produced more than Jack Grealish and Phil Foden. So if Pep is coming out to say that he wasn't going to get regular playing time, it's not because those two players are performing better than him. It would be for other reasons. I will go as far as saying this. If no one can talk about the top 5 center forward in the world and not put Harry Kane in it, Harry Kane is even, many people have Harry Kane ahead of Haaland. All right? So watch this. So let's go ahead. Raheem Sterling, I am telling you, if Raheem Sterling were, in my opinion, of a different complexion
Be careful.
or race,
Be
no,
careful.
let
Be
me
careful.
talk and you can.
Be
No, you can.
careful.
Ease yourself. Let me finish. Right? If Raheem Sterling were in the same body, the same style of play, and were white, I think the remarks from certain press in Europe about him would be different. That's my opinion. Because some of the things are simply asinine, in my humble opinion, that they have said about him. This guy can... Listen, Real Madrid wanted to buy him as a starter a couple of seasons, and City refused to sell him. Bayern Munich was interested in him. At the same time, they were getting Sane. So it is obvious that he can play in those teams. But yet, he's not highly rated in the place of his nationality. But people outside of the English media and press rates him as one of the world-class wingers. In fact, if you watch other media outside of it, they have him as one of those players who have a lot to prove, because they felt like there is that same racial bias at City. And they think Chelsea is the ideal environment to show that he should have been getting more playing time. Because there are many people, I don't know, I'm just saying there are many people who are of the opinion that there is that same sentiment of color in the mix at City. And other players from City have spoken out about that. Look at the complexion of that City side now. Is there anything strange about it? Speak!
Well, you've put the clarion call out here, Manning's man. Viewers and subscribers, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Manning's man is shooting tonight from the hip and from the lip. Look here, Manchester City. This is the first, I must say, Manning's man, I have not heard this particular narrative, this particular line of questioning. Certainly not over here in England. I've not heard this, so I'm digesting what you're saying. I'm wondering if I should take it seriously, and if so, how seriously? Because what you're doing there, unbeknownst to you, or maybe known to you, what you're doing on this platform with that kind of speak is suggesting throwing darts, rock stones at certain individuals, beginning with arguably one of the finest coaches in the world, in Pep Guardiola, the conquistador supreme, winner of X amount of Premier League titles in England, winner of many a trophy in Germany and Spain. Are you suggesting, point blank, on that Pep Guardiola and Manchester City have a colour agenda, Manning's man?
I am saying to you, in the past, there are players who have played for the particular coach at City and in Barcelona, who expressed those concerns. And I'm saying that I find it kind of strange is that the complexion of the team has completely changed over time.
Are you
That's all I'm
familiar
saying.
with?
I am
All
saying
right.
that
Are you?
Yaya Toure
Uh-huh.
and Samuel Eto'o expressed some things in the past that would suggest. But to go further, because the bigger question is this: if Sterling were in Phil Foden's if body color and all of that, I think he would have been rated higher by people, in particular press in Europe. I think one of the biggest deterrent to his ratings is his race. That's what I observe. Because a lot of the stick that he gets, I find it like whoa, but how do you rate, like, what has Jack Grealish done to be valued at $100 million that Sterling has not done?
Let me tell you something. Let's tackle this. Let's tackle this. Where do I begin?
So you're saying
You're
saying that you have never heard this argument in about
Nope. No, I have not, sir. No, I have not.
you remember the Euros? You think if Foden missed that penalty that Saka missed, it would have been the same response?
That was a seismic event where the racist underbelly in British society reared its ugly head. We cannot condone such behavior in no way, shape, or form. What we're looking at here, though, is a club, a leading club, whose modus operandi, get me now, and here's the heart of the matter, here's the rub. The heart of the matter for Manchester City, as a club, a leading club in the world, is to bring home the bacon, namely trophies. They need a winning culture, a winning mentality. Second, simply will not suffice, will not do. If Raheem Sterling is good enough and valuable enough to bring home and help secure titles as day follows night, he's likely to stay, especially if he's adding.
Where?
Wait a minute, at Manchester City, let me finish. Especially if he's adding value to the team in the present and in the future. Leroy Sané, a player that I've got plenty of time for, in that he's got a lot of ability. Leroy Sané also can be cutting and has cut a frustrating figure in the Premier League. Leroy Sané is a fantastic talent for Germany and once upon a time for Manchester City. However, I saw that he didn't produce his very best, and sometimes he looked a little off the pace at Manchester City. Even for Germany, he's not shone as much as we felt he could. Sometimes a talent doesn't flourish as much. Now, I'm going to give you two names. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, Belgium. That man delivers, and delivers again. Even when injured, you can see he has quality. He brings his A game, A minus game, even his B plus game to the party. And that results and pays dividends with trophies, performances, guts, and it brings entertainment to the millions of watching fans. The next name I'm going to give you is going to be the really one that I want you to give me an answer to. This may buck the argument, buck your big toe if you're referring to this racist card. The name is Fernandinho. Rock at Manchester City. Second or third behind Casemiro for the Seleção Brazil. Fernandinho, until the moment he said, I am retiring, was a steadfast, steely central defensive midfield player. I'm going to back that up with another name. Vincent Company, Belgium, defender, club captain.
Hey, let me stop you and talk.
Currently
Let
at
me stop you.
Burnley.
Let me
Company,
stop you. Hey,
Fernandinho. Speak! I
yeah,
said.
let me give you some. Let me give you some context, because obviously I think you know. So I don't know if you have ever been to Brazil or you understand the culture of Brazil. All right, so let me help you a little
I'm
bit.
familiar with some. I'm familiar with some of
All right.
that, but I
So,
hope you're not circumventing what I've just given you.
no. I'm going to give
Fernandinho
it
and
to you.
company and Manchester City.
So,
If
so,
they were
so,
surplus to requirements and a little too
so
dark,
let me say it to you.
why did they remain? I hope you're going to give an answer. Go ahead, sir.
So let me say
Yes,
this to you.
Clear your throat.
Let me say this to you.
Go ahead.
Yes, I made the point already. Let me give you the point. And you admit that Jack Grealish has not performed better than Raheem Sterling. So the reason
No,
for
let me give you a context, because I did say that. Let me give you a context which I didn't give you before, and here it is. This is one that really should be quite obvious.
You have 30 seconds.
I'm gonna bring it.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
Jack Grealish. What on earth made him end up at Manchester City? I'll tell you what. His outstanding performances for Aston Villa got him the move to Manchester City. At Aston Villa, he was a big fish in a small pool and produced performances after performances. Go ahead.
Richard, we all have a discussion. So let me make my point again. So let me ask you the question. I'm not asking about his big move. Here's the question. Did Jack Grealish produce more than Raheem Sterling at Manchester City? Yes or no?
How long has Jack Grealish been at Manchester City? He's barely got his feet under the table, man.
So let me ask you a different thing. You don't want to answer that question. Last season, who produced more from Manchester season? One season I'm looking at. Last season, Raheem Sterling or Jack Grealish?
Off the top of my head, I would say Raheem Sterling may have edged.
Okay. So Raheem Sterling is not being sold because he's a lesser player based on evidence than Jack Grealish.
Continue.
From what we have seen of Raheem Sterling, from his time at Liverpool to his time at City, compared to what we have seen in the time of Jack Grealish at Aston Villa and in the league, Raheem Sterling has produced more than Jack Grealish. If you go to all of their career, look at it. Hey, go back to the what you tell me about. Go back and check. Hey, Richard, don't interrupt me, man. No, don't. Nobody. We're not in the hysteria. Watch me. Raheem Sterling has produced a whole lot more than Jack Grealish. Raheem Sterling, right, has scored more goals. Even Pep, in his conversation about Raheem Sterling, didn't give any indication about him not being able to get any playing time, so it's better he goes anywhere. Nothing like that. Let me give you that. You brought up now Fernandinho. I want you to know that people don't see the Brazilians as African Americans or black people. People don't see Neymar as a black man. People never saw Ronaldo, Fat Ronaldo, as a black man. Yaya Toure, Samuel Eto'o, Raheem Sterling are completely different from when you see a Vincent Kompany who is Belgian, or a Fernandinho, or a Fabinho. It's a completely different thing. Look how they treated Saka and those guys who were African American. I am saying to you that I find it hard to believe that with all the English press has been saying about Raheem Sterling, the racial abuse that the fans have City have meted out to him, the places he have gone and they have shouted the monkey chant, and I can't understand how you don't know any of this and you have not seen it. When the English players even decided not to play a game because they were making monkey chants at him in their own stadium in England. And you're saying you're completely unaware of it.
The point you were making.
The point I am making is this: that if Raheem Sterling were in Phil Foden's body, his ratings would be higher in England. And one of the things that has worked against him is, one, he's black, and two, he was not born in England. Because I can tell you this, I've seen Calvert-Lewin being offered for $80 million. Is he better than Raheem Sterling? And they want to value Raheem Sterling at 25 with all that he has done?
Who's valuing him at 25 million?
Come on, man.
Who's valuing Raheem Sterling? I mean, when it comes to money and valuations, you know, we shouldn't pay overly too much and take too seriously these bubble figure, crazy fantasy type money. I mean, Jack Grealish, no one acknowledges. I mean, I'm not even pointing the finger just at Jack Grealish. When it comes to transfer salaries, we've got a cost of living crisis over here in England, and when you're talking about money and value for money, it's a bubble. It's a different world. Football is a totally isolated, relatively speaking, beast. You cannot equate what these players earn to real life. In truth,
Blue Heart asking you a question.
Go ahead. What's the question, Blue Heart? Good evening, Blue Heart. Good evening, all viewers and subscribers to I Am Sure Sports. Keep your comments coming. What's the question? Let me hear. Which
season did Grealish ever perform better than Sterling? National team call up, everything put together.
There's been at least 3 seasons. I say at least. I'm putting it out there where Jack Grealish for Aston Villa was producing. He was the star turn at Villa. He and his performances, arguably alone, were drawing the attention.
That's not the question, though, Richard.
Wait a minute. That's
not the question. You're not answering the question that was asked.
The key thing is about performances, and I'm trying to say his performances. Listen carefully. His performances at Aston Villa drew the attention, arguably solely, of the watching footballing public to Aston Villa. This man was the creative hub of Aston Villa. He was the heartbeat, the guts, and the glamour of Aston Villa and Midlands football for many, many seasons, until the door, having been knocked and knocked, suddenly had to be opened when the big boys came calling.
But
namely, Manchester
you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. You're telling us a lot of things that we're not asking you. Which season did Jack Grealish outperform Raheem Sterling? On the national team or in the EPL that they have both played?
For the national team, Jack Grealish has not outperformed Raheem Sterling. What I'm saying is that in
the Premier League, what season?
In the Premier League, without coming to call out the specific seasons, I'm not the best one I'm going to call right now for Mr. Grealish, especially with regard to Mr. Grealish. But I know before his move to Manchester City, those 3 prior seasons, when fit, which was pretty often, he was the star turn and producing performances that matched and at times may have exceeded Raheem Sterling. However, Raheem Sterling's performances, in my opinion, at Manchester City were outstanding. In fact, it got to the point where Raheem Sterling was Raheem Sterling was the go-to guy for some months. He was the go-to guy when things got hard for Manchester City.
Jason Guna is helping you, Richard. So let's take some help.
Just because somebody agrees with where you're coming from, and that's no problem. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's no problem.
So-
What we can look at, I mean, it depends if there's a particular argument that you're getting at. My contention to you is, I've said it already. I've gone on record. Mr. Sterling is a fine player. Is he world class? In my opinion, not quite world class in terms of consistently performing at a level that quotes, quote unquote, the world class tag. In my opinion, no. I'm not going to tell you that Jack Grealish is world class. I think Raheem Sterling is closer to world class than Jack Grealish. But Pep Guardiola has Jack Grealish, and here's the interesting thing, and he's gonna stand or fall on this. Jack Grealish will not be at Manchester City if he continues to be a promising player. He needs to deliver at Manchester City, or as day follows night, he will be sold. He will be out if he does not cut it. Raheem Sterling, during his tenure at Manchester City, on numerous occasions, did cut it. Fine player, wonderful player,
Let me help you,
electrifying
Richard,
pace. So I'm not taking anything away from that. Jack Grealish will have to stand or fall on his performances at Manchester City. He's got to do it. He cannot go on forever being a promising player. Trust me on that.
So follow me, Richard.
Guardiola needs to bring out the very best in Grealish.
Your audio, you muted yourself.
I did. I want you to speak.
Okay, all right. So let me give you some ideas, right? Raheem Sterling had 13 goals and 5 assists last season. The season before that, he had 10 goals and 7 assists. The season before that, he had 20 goals and 1 assist. The season before that, he had 17 goals and 10 assists. The season before that, he has 18 goals and he has 11 assists. 2016, he had 17 season, he has 7 goals and 6 assists. And in 2015 to 16, he has 6 goals and 2 assists. That's in the Premier League. That has nothing to do with FA Cup, Champions League, and none of those things. That is his time at Liverpool. For England, all right, he played 7 games in 2021-22, 2 goals, 1 assist. In the Euros in 2021, 7 games, 3 assists, 1 goal. All right. The qualifiers, we don't want to go through that and sing. All right. Let's go to his Liverpool stats. I'm going to give you some stuff. All right. Liverpool, 2014-2015, 35 matches, 7 goals and 7 assists. That's 24-2015. All right. So that's his stats. All right. We're going to look at Jack Grealish. Different positions, you know. So I understand that Jack Grealish may not have as many goals, but, you know, let's see how he's doing in terms of assists. All right. So Premier League. 26 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. That is last season. We're not going to get into the Champions League, FA Cup, and all of those things. Let's go to Aston Villa. All right. In 2014-2015, he had 17 games. He had 1 goal. 1 assist, no goals. 2015-2016, he had 1 goal and no assists in 16 games. 2019-2020, he had 36 games, 8 assists, 6 goals. And in 2021, he had 6 goals and 10 assists. So the only time he had more assists than Raheem Sterling is the season before he went to City. All right. The point I'm making is that Raheem Sterling has always outperformed Jack Grealish for City, and when he was at Aston Villa, Raheem Sterling was at City, Raheem Sterling was still outperforming. And in the national team, Raheem Sterling starts over him. Yet, a lot of the pundits in England rate Jack Grealish based on not future. If they said to me that the propensity or the possibility of Jack Grealish going further than Phil Foden I would not have a problem with that because they are younger, so they probably have a higher probability of exceeding what Raheem Sterling has done. However, when you look at what they have accomplished up to this point, they still rate even Jadon Sancho over Raheem Sterling.
Who are they? I certainly don't. And I think by common consent, I can tell you now. No. I'd have to disagree. Right now, if you're talking about right now, I mean, remember, let me be clear. Jack Grealish, I did say just before he came to Man City, the door was being knocked until it had to be opened. And it was knocked by no less a person than Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. They paid a lot of money. They're taking a chance. But Grealish had started to show that and speak and suggest that he was ready for the big time. And as I said, it was key seasons that he was starting to show. Oftentimes he's playing for a mid-table team in Aston Villa. But as I said, he was a big fish in a small, relatively speaking, pool. So the goals, chances, the assists, you need someone at the end of the chances to finish off chances. So he looked good and you could see the talent was there. Now, there is no way, and I can never go on record, and never could I claim that in the English media in general, that Jadon Sancho is thought of as a greater talent or indeed in terms of output exceeds Raheem Sterling. No. Currently, we know that Jadon Sancho is at Manchester United. I could add that the man is floundering or has been floundering at Manchester United. Jadon Sancho's cutter pointing desultory figure at Manchester United. Hopefully under Ten Hag, things may change. But Jadon Sancho is in no way, shape or form on the same footing as Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling's place in the England team and squad is very much assured. As day follows night, he will be part and parcel of the England campaign in Qatar at the end of the year. There's no doubt about that. So Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling, simply that equation in terms of 1 and 1 equals 2 does not compute. Not as far as Rich Bo Sports is concerned.
So I don't want to harp on the Sancho thing because I hear what Gunners Boss says. We said that already, Gunners Boss. It is because, and I'll say let me ask this question again, Richard. Do you believe if Raheem Sterling were in the body of Phil Foden, don't you think that his value would be different and his coverage in the media would be different? Because I get the feeling like you don't see any racial view in terms of how Sterling is viewed and rated in England. So I want to ask you that. Just let me know. Do you believe that if Sterling were in Foden's body and had that same color, look here and all of that, and with the performances he has had, do you think you'd be treated any better in the press and would be valued any different amongst the pundits in England?
That question is very interesting. I'll tell you why. Because the English press in general is Caucasian, often middle class, often post sports coach's desk. We max it. They don't have necessarily the finger on the pulse. Formula Sports don't have the finger on the pulse where the African Jamaican diaspora isn't. What I would say is that you cannot cast a blanket over such an equation necessarily. I remember the likes of Andy Cole. Andy Cole, England striker, Manchester United striker, terrific striker, didn't quite do it consistently or often enough for England. But then I could call out Steve Bull, the Wolverhampton player who was tearing things up in his day in at club level. But for international level and international duty, wasn't quite cutting it. They're both of different hues of different persuasions. If you're good enough, my mantra, if you're good enough, you're good enough. We've got the Leeds, Calvin Phillips in midfield. That gentleman, mixed heritage, you can call him black. Ashley Cole, Arsenal defender, Chelsea defender, quality. Sol Campbell, another defender, quality. Paul Ince. You can name numerous players. If you're good enough, the color is not going to come really into the equation. If you're not cutting it,
come on, Richard.
That
Richard,
is going to be
Richard,
that's going to be the deciding.
Richard,
and listen, Gareth Southgate. Who's the manager?
no.
Who's the manager of England now? Gareth Southgate. It's very interesting.
Richard,
let me tell. Yes,
Richard,
man.
you have not answered the question. Nonetheless, what I asked, you have not answered. What I am saying that
it was very hypothetical, isn't it? You're saying if someone's in someone else's body, that's of course a very hypothetical. If
all right, so no, let's not use no.
It's very hypothetical. So
let me ask you something that is not hypothetical, because what you just stated is that the color of the player or the person or the race of the person has no factor in football in England. That's what you're basically
I didn't say that. No. I didn't say that. I told you that the British media, that has played a very large part, oftentimes in the fortunes of England, played a very large part in the fortunes of England on various levels. They're not backward in players, but from David Beckham.
What happened, Richard, is that when I ask you a question, you say a whole lot of things, and you don't answer the question. And so what keeps happening is that when I raise something that you said in the big point, you said that is not what you're saying, but you did say it. So let me just bring this back down to earth, because I don't want long answers, because I want to be stick-to-itive to what we're discussing. And I will say this, I'll make a definitive statement. I put it to you that players of certain color, especially for those who are not born in England, if they are black in particular, they are treated differently, and how they are rated in terms of value is different from white players who are born in England, right? They are treated differently. All of them. Going back to Ian Wright, these players have come out and spoken about some of these things, some of the experiences they had, and some of the things that they had to do to get into the team, including the Ashley Coles. Some of those players were born in England. Sterling case is a little bit different. He was not born in England, and to put on top of that, he is black. Some of those things, I believe, has affected him. I would not make a blanket statement to say everyone in England and all the media, but there's a high percentage of the media that when you listen to them, the things that other players, even on that very team, get away with, he would not get away with it. If he did the same thing, I guarantee you that he would not be treated the same way. He's the only player that I've ever heard any question about his tattoo that he had to explain. And there are other players in the English team that have tattoos.
I remember that situation. I didn't like the cut of that. I didn't like that either. I'm not excusing.
But you speak as if you have never heard these things.
No. The specific point that I had not heard is when you said, and correct me if I'm mistaken, when you said that at Manchester City, under Pep Guardiola, there is an issue of color. That was the point where I would say I have not heard that argument at Manchester City specifically. I've not heard that. For England at national level, there are definite dynamics that we know about. I was born in this country. We know of the racism situation. I came onto the Jamaican platforms immediately on the back of the European championships, where
Richard,
that underbelly came to the surface.
I don't want to get past this. All right, let me say it this way. When I spoke about the Manchester City situation, I spoke about the manager. I said the manager, and I spoke about his time at Bayern Munich, I spoke about Yaya Toure, Samuel Eto'o. I spoke about, but because those players have come out and said stuff that would suggest, whether it is true or not, but it would suggest that there was some, at least from their perspective, there was a level of racial bias. That's what those players said. So we have evidence of those conversations from those players that they have said it about the manager. And what I ask is this. I suggest that, don't you find it kind of strange that the color of the City team has changed over time? That the City team is probably one of the teams that have no black player.
Who's
right
Kyle
now.
Walker? Who's Kyle Walker? And Edison?
I think you're missing I keep telling you, Richard, the Brazilians, you know what is funny? Most Brazilians, people when they play elsewhere, very few of them, they do the monkey chant. I think it happened to Roberto Carlos in some Chinese league. But I say to you again, Brazilian players, though they are dark-skinned sometimes, for the most part, they don't face racial monkey chant issues. I don't know, I can't explain that to you, but I find that the monkey chant and the racial stuff are normally for players of African descent. That's the point I'm making. I think Brazilian, I don't know why. Maybe somebody have to explain that to me, but I don't know why. Look at this one. Somebody says Ian Wright. Well, the Ian Wright, but look at this. Kirk was speaking about John Barnes. Man, is you're correct. Yes. The English FA did not value John Barnes. Barnes made Lineker look good in that World Cup.
Yes, that's true. 1986 World Cup. Came on as a substitute, could have started the games. Came on, made a difference. Went at players, beat players, provided quality crosses, provided one almost on the plate for Lineker. Last ditch defending by the Argentinians prevented them pulling back after this tour de force performance by Diego Maradona himself. Look, Kyle Walker is playing for Manchester City in the defense for Man City. He's black. Mind you, I must say, it's the first time that I've come onto a platform and heard a discussion around color and in light of the Premier League. Is there a particular point that was being made? What is there a particular original point that you wanted to make in light of the Premier League season about to kick off? I mean, Jamaican football itself has issues. It's ironic because I'm going to be doing a presentation on Rich Post Sports looking at the caliber of the managers going into this campaign. I'm going to be looking at Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Mikel Arteta, Conte of Spurs, Ten Hag of Manchester United. And I'm looking at some of their qualities and what makes them and their clubs likely contenders for the Premier League and Champions League push. And it's interesting that at the same time, I got wind today of a certain Mr. M. Gordon being pushed, apparently, considered as a possible Reggae Boys coach. Now, we've seen the travails. Oh, yes, let's go there. We've seen the travails of the Reggae Boys
really. I have a show this evening
in their Gold Cup campaign.
I have a show this evening where I'll be discussing Jamaica's football. This is the Premier League content, so it won't be. Yeah, so this evening in the evening show we'll be talking about the coach and all of those things. So we don't want to get into that. This show is dedicated to the Premier League as we look to Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, that I think Arsenal are going to win. But I will say this too, that and I'm not suggesting that. I will say that I realize even in American sport, one of the things that they have set out to do is to bring a greater diversity, even at the management level of sports. I would say I would even go as far as saying, with all the difficulties in America, I think they have made greater steps towards this racial divide than in many places in Europe. All right, so So let me say this. I look at American sport and I see, like, for NFL, they're working. It's not where it ought to be. And for the NBA, you can see more African American coaching. I think Patrick Vieira is presently the only black manager in the top tier, and I don't think there is any in the second tier English football right now, which is a championship. All right. And maybe there are not enough good black managers out there. I don't know. All right. Maybe there isn't. And I'm glad for Patrick Vieira. But I think there is still, I saw, for example, there was some article, there was some in the Euros. The English media was talking about the fact that there is no great diversity in the English female team, though they have won it. There's no diversity in it, and there need to be greater diversity. So I want to say publicly that I believe that there's still an issue with how white England views black English. There is still that issue. And I think sports need to be the unifying force and factor. And personally, I believe with all the stuff that has been done in the past, one of the people who should be the most embracing of the African culture should be the English people, given how they are a major part, especially in the Caribbean, of what we call the exploitation of the region. I think they, in terms of restitution, because if there's no repatriation, at least restitution should be, listen, we should be more accommodating of the people from this background, because much of who we are today is on the backs of them being slaves. And so I have a serious issue with when Raheem Sterling, when I perceive that the treatment that he receives is because he is not English born, or he's not of a particular color, though he is a good player in that English. I think, like, I guarantee you, man, that if this were a white guy, the value that would be on him and how we would be hyped in the media, and every window, the amount of articles go out and all of those things, because they did that with Jack Grealish. They have done it with Harry Kane. They did it with Jack Wilshere. They did it with Phil Foden. They take, when the media wants to sell certain players, they put certain information out there. I don't feel like that same thing is done towards Raheem Sterling, in my opinion. That's what I want to see. But we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome. Management and Rich Poo Sports here. Welcome to the show.
Yes, Mannings. Big up Richard and so me. You see that topic, yeah. It's a serious topic. I'm glad you actually bring this forward, because brother, I've been to three different countries other than Jamaica, the country I'm born. And one thing I always tell people, don't matter where you come from, once you have that skin complexion, you're going to have problems where you go. Racism is everywhere. And they say, football, you was talking earlier about the monkey chant. There was a Brazilian youngster, Everton Luiz. I remember this keenly a couple of years ago, where him start cry, brother. The monkey chant, the man so bad in Serbia, the man start crying. Them have to hug up the man and I try hush him, brother. The man cry like a baby. Brother, and I easy thing that we deal with, it's when you know by playing sports. I'm a player football. It's when you play them, when you play any sport, you have to have concentration. So when people are monkey chanting, brother, it's a very hard thing to do, to concentrate on playing the game at a high level and being monkey chanted. And this not start. Remember, England, the first country was doing this, Man is a kind of young guy, but England, it started in England back in the 80s, And then they come out with something about it, and it kind of like go down a little bit. And then the Italians pick it up. Then the Italians took it to another level. And they do this with mostly Africans. That's why you hear me say you was spot on what you said. They do it mostly with Africans. That's what they do it with. Mostly Lukaku, the Inter Milan fans, Lukaku play for Inter Milan, and the Inter Milan fans said monkey chanting is not racist. That's what they said, But Lukaku getting monkey chant is not racist. That's what they said. These people don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. And that's what they devalue black people regardless. Don't matter about just football. Because how can you make a monkey chant and then you say it is not racist? That's what they said about Lukaku. And he played for them. He played for Inter Milan. So, brother, it's a good topic for bring up, brother. And even with Raheem Sterling, exactly what you said about Raheem Sterling. If it was a white person that played for England, that all these things that they're talking about, they wouldn't be talking about that. There was the thing with with a young kid named that buy like, can't remember what he buy. I think he played for Manchester City at the time, and he get like a contract and he buy like, can't remember what he buy, and the white kid buy the same thing, and they make a big thing. I gotta go and look up about the name. There was that black kid, can't remember the kid name, but he bought something and they were saying that I think he buy a house. I'm not sure if it was a house, and they must say like him run and go buy the house to, you know what I'm saying, this first money. But they said a white kid had done that and they wasn't saying anything. It was all over the British tabloid about that. Anytime I remember him name, I'm going to text it to you. But brother, the racism ripe in England. Been over there, brother, it ripen over England, and they act like they want to just pass it on to the Italian. They birthed that. English fans birthed the monkey chant. They birthed that. The Italians took it over and took it to another level, but the English fans started from them. And it's all over Europe now. Serbia, Russia, everywhere them have that. You just have to be strong as a black man, especially African them, and just play the game same way. Because me feel like, say, anytime you start crying like Everton Luis did, the Brazilian dude, you make them get more and more powerful. You give them too much power when you start crying. When them see you in a tears, you know. Me would I know where the right back for Brazil do, when they throw the banana at his feet, he peel the banana and eat the banana and take the corner.
Alves. Danny Alves.
That's why me I do and keep playing, brother, because when you start crying, you give them too much power.
Yeah.
But brother,
yeah, man.
Thanks for giving me the chance to really speak my mind, brother. And just carry on, I just watch. You know what I say?
Yeah, man. All right, respect, Kirk.
Brother.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So there is
respect, Carla. Respect.
You see, when it is happening, I don't think baller should walk off the field. I think you should play and just like dominate them. I think it's harder when it is your team doing it. So if I play for a team and I am out there giving my all, and then the people, the supporters of my team are doing that, then it's a different thing. But if it is my opponent, I want to play. But Richard, here's what they're asking. This is
absolutely. I remember people. Yeah.
Blue Heart, and then this is after this we're probably going to have to close because I said we have a big show. We're going to discuss Jamaica's football at 8:30. It's going to be a special one. You don't want to miss that one. Richie Poo going to miss it because that will be like wee hours of the morning for him, right? Name your top six wingers in the English League, Mannings and Richie Poo Sports. So who are your top six wingers? Rich
Poe. Poe for point
Sports.
of view and Poe for power. Rich Poe Sports. Well, listen. Yeah, man. Rich Poe. Now, Blue Heart. I'm not going to name six off the top of my head. What I can do, because I was going through in my mind the leading clubs, the Spurs, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal's. They play different formations, and the classic winger role has been inverted in many teams. So you don't have an out and out winger as you used to. What I can say is if you're putting Raheem Sterling into that category, and you can, because he's a winger stroke attacking forward. Raheem Sterling comfortably makes that top six. He makes the top three, no doubt about it. Arguably, he could be in the top two. He's an outstanding player on the wing. If you want speed, as I said, one of his greatest attributes, Raheem Sterling, get me. Speed, low center of gravity, confidence, boldness.
Hold on a sec, caller, until Richard finishes his point. Go ahead, Richard.
He's got the experience to know to go wide or to cut in. As I said, since playing for Liverpool and being under Pep's wing, he has become an even better player. Confidence levels would have gone up, no doubt. And in fact,
hold on, Richard.
it's got to the stage.
Just turn off the. Hold on, Richard. Caller, just turn off the, because we're hearing an echo. You can turn off this sound or bring down the sound in the background.
All right, hold on. Let me turn off this box.
Yeah, man.
Better now?
Yeah, perfect. All right, Richard, go ahead, and then I will let the caller come on in. Yeah.
Thank you, caller. Good night, caller. And again, thanks to all the viewers and subscribers.
It's night where you are, but it's daylight where we are.
Rock of Ages, yeah, man. Wait, just something past 3 o'clock. Afternoon. Give thanks. Good afternoon, viewers and subscribers. Keep hitting the like button to share the content with Man is Man and I'm Sure Sports, and look out for Rich Post Sports content as well. Look here. Raheem Sterling is such a good player. I make no bones about it. Let's be crystal clear. He's such a fine player that no less a team than Chelsea FC, the Blues of CC Sports Factory, the Blues of Malik Mills, the Blues of former outstanding owner Roman Abramovich have come knocking and happily plucked the nectar. That is Raheem Sterling. Just as Arsenal plucked Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City. He's a quality. So we salute Raheem Sterling and his ability. And we
here's what I'm going to do. Hold on, Richard. Hold on.
Comes from a position of ignorance. So big up yourself, Raheem.
Yeah. Here's what I'm saying. I want to give you some time because what the person is asking is 6. He's never asked if Sterling should be in there. So he wanted to name 6. I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to let the caller speak. Then I'm going to give you my 6. Go ahead, caller.
Big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man. What say you? Because I know you have lived in England, you know. And you're familiar with some of the stuff that happened to, like, Righty when he was, around the England team and Arsenal and stuff. What talk to us. How do you see this thing and how Raheem Sterling is viewed?
Well, someone like that and a Sterling strong and a Sterling you can't see, you don't know. And if I'm a family about the Sterling and blood, so you don't know. So that's why soon as because the panelist, so him name again, English man.
Oh, Richie.
The reason boss. Yeah, Rich Post Sports, the reason boss. Richard, the Rich reason Post boss. Sports,
the reason boss.
All right, big up yourself, reason boss. Yeah.
blessed King, blessed.
Yeah.
Call your man is man. Let me go to my like a them banned me from the other show. So I'm glad to have a platform over here so an FC. Of course, I'm to mind. Going, this is a good one. Yeah, this morning, me and a man talk, and I say, I know me have a call man and tell him, no, you need to do a deal with this. Before or after, so I mean, that part.
Are you breaking up someone?
Me no. You hear me better now?
Yeah, man. Whole lot better. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, me I say if me respect that thing we can go on, because I can go and make the little bramble call them and make a statement. So this supposed to me I recommend this. I know other people that like this to go on. I don't know if it's after 4 or before 4 you're gonna do it too. I clash with some other people, but this to go on. With that said, I like this. Now, people when they're on the line, want to jump off of the line and call the show when me left and keep calling the show, make the show build up because at this I go build the show and we want to make this the Jamaica #1 sports calling show on YouTube. Management need to find the place and the time to make it a daily ingredient in the Management podcast, in the I Am Sure podcast network. If I have to find hosts and people to do this show, it's a go on. Now, moving on. When the brother know we call before me say him a go eat the banana. I mean, I agree say no man eat the banana. Me I throw it back in the crowd to them, you know. Cause just when you eat it now, that means say it's exactly where them a say you're a monkey, so them a eat the monkey up as zoo. So we now go eat the banana cause we know in no zoo. We go throw it back over there. Find me or kick me off of the team, but me not taking that insult. I mean, not care who it hit because I don't know who throw it, but they throw it out of the stand, I'm throw it back in the stand. Just like how when them a play baseball and you hit the ball out, the enemy, when you have a Boston and the Yankees are playing, Boston fans don't hold the ball, we're going at the stand, foul ball or home run or nothing, them throw it back on the field,
Okay.
You don't want Aaron Judge as a Boston Celtics fan. You don't, as a Boston Red Sox fan, you don't want Aaron Judge home run ball for no reason at all. So you throw it back out there. But if I went Big Papi and play and Big Papi hit it in the stand, you're going to keep it. So, and disrespect and the respect levels we are talking about right there. So, yeah, man, Ian right, the man, them people, they feel funny, One time, we have 2 Jamaicans in England at the ball, we are top baller, Luther Blessed and the same Ian right, and them man, they was badly underutilized, brother. Both in the Premier League and in the English League setup, We come and we see Ian Wright, good for him to go to school, But his father was a man of the street, buster, and buster thing and he get wind up and then use that against Ian Wright because the media and the 85% of old, very old Caucasian who run the media in England, in Europe, and across the world at them now. So them are going to talk every time you put on the uniform, whatever. No, the big people, them who own the teams and the society, no want to hear them things, so them keep these youths out. But it's been happening, so we're not surprised about nothing we are happening to Raheem now, knowing that Raheem is being believed this, that out and out bias treatment of Sterling. I believe even the last time when the last squad before we are going to the World Cup, Raheem Sterling was the hardest player on that team, and I see him as the hardest working man for any team in the pan. Me not see nobody run and play ball and run up and down and do them thing like Raheem Sterling. That man is a bunny rabbit tonight. So I put some respect on him every time. And at time the people them like call Mr. Man, where they over England, at time you start talking to things them and make them more sound. To give the man more respect. Put him name out like on put Harry Kane and them man and name out because he is in that league with those guys. That me I say, I go and listen because no one the people them to take over the phone line and go and call and nice up the show. And me I say happy holiday to the people them in Jamaica and all over the world where I celebrate. Man, it's man McGurn.
All right. That's the color. So, Rich, here's what I would say when it comes on to. Let me just respond to the last thing about the top 6 midfielder, wingers. All right, I would because Salah is a winger, So Salah would be up there. If Mane was here and Richarlison, they would be in there. So I have Salah as one of those. Raheem Sterling is up there as well. For me personally, I rate Mahrez as well.
Yes.
At City, just going back over the years, his consistency. I think he's a very, very problematic midfielder when he's up and at his best. And I'm just going by recent form because if Mane was there, he would have been in there. If Richarlison was here, he would have been in there. All right, so that's 3. So I have Mahrez, I have Salah. I just called one more. Sterling. So Sterling. I have Salah as number 1, probably Sterling number 2. Then Mahrez I would have in there. Let me think about winger in the league.
Well,
Song from Spurs I have as one of the top ones as well. So that's 4. I'm just confirmed from last year the effectiveness of Saka I have him as one of the young midfielders, and I would say I would give
well, what about Gray? Martinelli, Gray for Everton, Rafinha when he was at Leeds.
No, I'm talking about those in the league right now. I would go with Phil Foden.
Great. Gray is very good. Gray
I
for
don't think
Everton is
Gray. I
very good.
don't think Gray is above any of those teams. Yeah, man. Back again, caller. Hold on, Richie.
Mannings, man,
Yeah.
let me say something to the people in the comment section. The person in the comment section when you love chat spamming us with all that stuff. We're tired of we just put some money on the super chat and stop spam the thing with your love chat business. We don't care about that, you pervert. Bye.
All right. All right. So yeah, Lannister, I have that. I have Mahrez, Saka, Sterling. Yeah, that's 5. And I see somebody saying Bowen. Bowen is a very good player too. He had a very good season for West Ham. Saint Maxima is a very good winger as well. I think Phil Foden is a very good winger as well. Yeah, I have those would be the top 6 for the person who asked the question. In my yeah, not Richarlison. Richarlison is not. Richarlison don't play a wing, Richarlison play more
more
center
forward. He's a forward. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So those would be the names I have in there, just based on last. So of course, if Salah and Rafinha were here, I think Saka would be out. I would take out Saka and put in Mane, and probably take out Mahrez and put in Rafinha, and that would be the list.
And what's interesting is that someone like Jack Grealish, he needs to elevate himself into that active conversation. He's gonna have to he's gonna really have to big up his levels of confidence, because playing for Man City is a big team. You need big kahunas, and you need a big game mentality to survive.
Yeah, and I think Leon Bailey as well needs to really play some good ball this season along with Jadon Sancho, so people can see what they are really made of. I think those two players having good seasons could do a lot for their own career. Yeah. Hey, but Richie, that we really at the end now, so leave the last word to you, because we have to rest the voice and rest the mind for 8:30 tonight. So what say you in closing?
Well, man is man, I must say to viewers and subscribers who have taken part in the discussion, I salute. What I would do is join the caller who said that having a discussion such as this is pertinent, is relevant, and it's good to not lose sight of the facts that despite the enormous ground that has been made in London and in England in terms of racism, we still have the taking of the knee. That is for a reason. We have people like Saha who say that they've had enough of taking the knee. It's equating to tokenism. But what can be said is that the knee is being taken for a reason. And rather than looking at the negative side, the glass half full or half empty, should I say, the fact that we do take the knee, not just because of George Floyd, but because of the existence of racisms at many levels. It exists. It is not dead. It is very much alive and kicking, but we want to kick it out. It's a long, laborious road, and we shall never cease fighting for justice, for equality, for respect. We continue to support all our players who give of their absolute best, Raheem Sterling amongst them, for their club and the country that they represent. Let us continue to fight. Manning's man, I love your indefatigability. I love your passion and your arguing of the merits of a Raheem Sterling. I still maintain not quite world class, but can produce moments of world class performances. Raheem Sterling, one thing he does do, and why he was actually granted an honor for services to fighting racism and for promoting and pushing equality. I salute Raheem Sterling, because when you're in your day profession and doing what you simply love to do, and you've been blessed with the skill and ability to do, which is to play football, what you don't want is to be attacked through ignorance and through hatred for something that you are doing to the best of your ability, and something that you can do better than 99.99% of those out there watching you perform. So I say props to Raheem Sterling, props to you, Manning's man, for advocating and staying strong in your support and love and regard of Raheem Sterling. And to all those viewers and subscribers out there, I salute you for taking part in the discussion, for listening respectfully, and I wish you well as we go on later to discuss on the various platforms with Manning Mans. You're going to be discussing the merits and the latest state of play regarding Jamaican football. It's tumultuous times, and let's hope that some transparency and some positivity exists in the Jamaican space. Manning's man, thank you very much for having Rich Po Sports on your show and arguing so robustly. Big up yourself every time.
Yeah, man, every time. Listen, the people are saying that we can't finish. Yeah, man, we're running up to 3 hours now, Blue Heart. And so, unfortunately, we have to finish because we say we have some big news with the Jamaica football.
Sweet them.
Later this evening, talking about coaches, team selection, all of those things, right? And you don't know, we have to pay some tribute because this is Emancipation Day celebration. We have to make sure so we kind of drop a little bit of that in our day because we respect and value the country. So we have to do that. So in between time, we have to do that so we can come back. So please bear with me. Enjoy the rest of the Emancipation, man. CC, we can't send the stream at this time because the show are done. All this time, CC, and you just jump on in the stream. CC, you need to subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so when the show is on, you can see it. I'm disappointed in you, CC, because you're a regular panelist, Can't believe it. All right? So please, make sure you do that. People, listen, we want go over 4,000. Remember, we have the August 14th, we want to get to 5,000, That's the target, We're right at the 4,000 mark. So if you can get one person to subscribe, it makes a huge difference. I want to encourage you to do that. We're going to have a big show at 8:30 tonight, discussing local football, talking about the coaching situation, games coming up on the male side, the female side, the under 15 team. You understand me? Players, the league moves in the leagues. And so that is going to happen tonight. So enjoy the Emancipation and join us back at 8:30. That's Rich Pooh. The reason boss, they call him. Speak! You understand me? Bless up yourself. To all the persons who tuned in, all the moderators, every person who hit that like button, every person who shared the content, every person who called in, we want to say thank you for all the super stickers and the super chat. We appreciate those. We appreciate every contribution of every single individual. Again, thank you so much for tuning, for watching, for being a part of the show. Before you leave, you have to ensure that you hit that X and then you hit the like button. You hit the like button. All right, you have to do that. Let's get the likes up. You understand me? I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. As usual, we say we are over and we are OUT out.
Yo, watch your bad dog, SK New Earlys, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.